The plan that we have presented to Congress to resolve this cross-border trucking dispute at its core addresses security. We have to give the American public the assurance that even as we seek to comply with our responsibilities under NAFTA, which we will, we want to do so in a way that doesn't address the integrity of that border. And so we are working with all of our federal agencies through the Department of Transportation, the Department of Homeland Security, to make sure we can do that. But we believe we can do that. We believe we can have a level of security that Texans, that Americans deserve, but also keeps that necessary trade flowing. These are extraordinarily important markets for Texas agricultural interests, and we want to make sure that they're secured in a way that we continue to sell into those markets and keep those jobs here in Texas. I think the president has demonstrated remarkable resolve, commitment, courage to come in and do what every president does, and that's to fight for the future, the integrity, and safety of the American public. I know some people think we spend too much time looking back at the past, but you can't escape the reality. This president came into office with a more dire fiscal situation than any president since maybe going back to the Great Depression. On top of it, trying to execute 2 wars at the same time. It is interesting and refreshing to us now that Americans are beginning to see the investments we made to secure and protect our financial system, our banking system, our regulatory systems have paid off. The TARP money now, most analysts and commentators will tell you, not only worked, but worked spectacularly well, and almost 90% of that money plus has been paid back to the federal government. And if you look at that investment and what we did to keep this country from falling into a depression and keeping our banking system from collapsing, I think that's an extraordinary achievement. I know Tom Leppert is a good man. I think he's been a good mayor for Dallas. I will only say this. One of the last times I cried as an adult was the night before I resigned as mayor, because I loved being mayor, and I loved the privilege of being the face and voice of a dynamic city and being responsible for the hopes and dreams of 1 million people and trying to address their issues of safety, how to build a better economic future. And when I resigned, I said my prayer was that Dallas would have a better mayor than me because they'd never have one that loved it anymore. So I've got to assume that's what he's going through. Beyond that, you know, that's a conversation for you to have with Leppert. What I would say is I hope whoever is our next United States Senator from Texas understands the critical importance of America having a thoughtful, progressive trade policy to our economic future. No state benefits more from exporting than Texas. What Dallas wants from a mayor is vision, integrity, leadership, and character. And I think it's okay to have a mayor who wants and loves the job. I am always suspicious of people who credential themselves for public office by virtue of the fact that they're not a politician. And I think part of our challenge in this country is we elect people over and over again who have told us that they don't know anything about politics. And then we put them all in office and can't understand why nothing works. This is a big job. Dallas is a big city. You've got 1,200,000 people, a multi-billion-dollar budget. You need someone that understands the politics of governing. And I don't believe you can lead an institution that you don't love and respect. And more than any other individual, the mayor's job is to go out and sell Dallas every day. Zero, zip, nada. For a kid who grew up in Austin, much as I love Austin, and I do, I grew up here doing segregation, Jim Crow. I'm 56 years old. When I was born, my mother and father could not vote. They could not attend the University of Texas. I grew up in segregated schools. In my lifetime, I had a chance, because of Ann Richards, to be sworn in as Secretary of State in the same state that denied my parents the right to vote. I had an opportunity to attend a law school that my parents couldn't attend as undergraduates. I've had the opportunity to serve my state as Secretary of State, be mayor of Dallas. And now I'm having the opportunity to serve, I think, an incredibly dynamic president in a time of great challenge for our country. I've had a rich, rewarding life in public service, but when I am done, at whatever point the president believes my service is complete, I'm going to come home to Texas, enjoy my wife, take care of my daughters, and go out and apply myself in the private world. But I have no plans to ever see elective office again. It's not in my future.